During a late-night party, two men got into an argument over something trivial. In the scuffle, they accidentally bumped into a companion sitting by the sofa. Strangely enough, the person showed no reaction whatsoever and simply toppled over onto the floor. Seeing this, Jack immediately bent down to give emergency aid, while Will lost all interest in fighting and quickly called for help. But no one answered the phone on the other end. Meanwhile, the other partygoers fled in terror. Left with no choice, Jack rushed inside the house to find someone else who could help, only to discover in horror that two more companions lying on the bed had also quietly stopped breathing. The series of shocking events left him completely stunned. He quickly covered his nose and mouth and bolted outside. Jack theorized that this was most likely caused by some kind of gas leak. Staying inside the house any longer could be fatal. The two men immediately worked together to load the three bodies into their car and raced toward the hospital, hoping to give them a fighting chance at resuscitation. However, when they arrived at the hospital, they were horrified to find the corridors packed wall to wall with corpses. Without time to process what they were seeing, they frantically sought help from the medical staff. Nurse Anna, upon hearing their situation, immediately brought people to examine the bodies. She promptly declared that the three were beyond casual and that the bodies would have to remain temporarily in the car, since the hospital had also experienced a massive number of mysterious deaths that night. They were severely understaffed and lacked adequate equipment, so they could only wait for police to arrive before conducting a thorough investigation. With no other option, the two men could only wait anxiously in the lobby, while the unattended patients could do nothing but close their eyes and rest. What they didn't know was that all emergency communications to the outside world had been cut off. The hospital director, sensing something was terribly wrong, had already abandoned everyone and fled on his own. Anna looked helplessly at the nurse beside her, who said she was willing to lend a hand but needed to rest for a moment after working the entire night. No one could have predicted that this brief nap would become her eternal sleep.